vlog number 4. Today we are talking environmental. So I'm Ronai with Anomaly the Agency, and
Chynel with Chapter 28 Beauty.
yeah, let's get to it. So yeah, like I had mentioned and messed up earlier in this conversation, we're talking environment. So, just kind of your surroundings, and what that looks like for you and how that keeps you inspired. So I just want to start off really with the basics, wherever your workplace is, whether it is at home or it is at a physical location, another physical location, just making sure you stay organized, just have everything kind of in a set place. I think when you see chaos, you become chaos. And so it's really good to, just make sure that your workspace is as organized as possible and that it's inspiring. I try to keep inspiring mugs and pens, and make people write on my kitchen table when they come to my house. So I have all of these little inspirational quotes and drawings all over. So it's very inspiring for me. And this is probably my favorite place to work in my apartment. But yeah, Chynel, what are your thoughts?
I agree totally. I definitely have little things around my workplace area that inspire me to keep doing what I'm trying to do. And basically, like, we all do vision boards at some point now. Like, this is an every year thing for me. And I keep my vision board posted in my salon so that I can make sure that every time I'm in there, I'm working toward the bigger picture. So, a little few things that I have on my vision board are like wellness. Then I have rocks with like a waterfall. I have a lot of nature, a lot of greenery. It might not be a particular character or anything like that that's on my board, but just the colors in general inspire me to work in a certain environment. So yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I love that. I haven't done a vision board in forever, I feel like. And I would love, so anybody who's in the Reading area, I would absolutely love to have a girls' night with wine and drinks and food and just vision boarding all night. That's definitely a girls' night I'm trying to have ASAP. So let me know if you are interested.
Or you can vision board through the phone, like
Right.
video. You go to a video group, and because that's what my cousin did. She logged in from Texas, and she was doing the vision board when we were over there doing it at my mother-in-law's house.
Oh, I love
So
that.
it's still, yeah, and not the same type of energy, obviously, but we get in the zone. I'm zoned out when I'm doing the vision board. I'm not even listening, hearing nothing. Y'all need glue. I can't help you right now. Like,
I'm going to show you what I got, but look, that's all I can do.
so
Right.
yeah.
That's so true. And especially with, unfortunately, some of us are, experiencing lockdowns and layoffs and all of this thing, these things going on with the pandemic or, the coronavirus. And so take that time, you know what I mean? Kind of going back to what we were saying on vlog number 3, take time, self-care. That's definitely self-care. I mean, just putting together your vision. And, I think a lot of people don't really know what their life looks like a year or 5 years from now, which is okay. That's not a problem. I mean, we can't predict the future, of course, but it's always nice sometimes to inspire yourself to like get to that point and just think like, wow, maybe in 5 years, I'll have a whole brick and mortar and my business will be booming or, whatever your goals and dreams are, it doesn't hurt to put that together. So I love that. Yeah, I might have to do that soon.
Well, clearly we have to arrange that. I mean, I'm all about
Right.
revamping the board as my vision does, naturally grow into something bigger, as time goes. And we're what, three months into the year?
It feels like it's been 5 years, and I know y'all can agree.
So it's technically like the first quarter of your 2020. Like, it's a great time to evaluate where you are and where you're going. So maybe we'll go ahead and arrange that and just do it like maybe live or something. That'd be
Cool. We should do. You know what? That would be cool if one of our vlogs was literally just vision boarding. That would be like a live video of us just doing that. That would be cool. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Look.
That's pretty dope. But yeah, I mean, self-care now is a great time to just really look at yourself and look at your lifestyle, look how you're living, look at what's going on around you, because the world's pretty much still at this point. And see what you can improve on. There's a bunch of negativity out. Of course, everybody has it around them, but you can look at the brighter things and see where you can improve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And kind of just diving right into that, having a group that inspires you. I think one of the toughest things is being the motivated person, the most motivated person in a circle full of people that just are not motivated. And whether it hits you right then and there, or you realize it one day while you're sitting there talking about everything but making moves, it's going to hit you. You know what I mean? And so that's been a big thing. Again, just coming back into certain scenes and recognizing the people that are kind of still stagnant versus the people that are really making moves out here. And shout out to them for real, for real. I think that's been a major thing for me. I think the first 3 months of me moving back since October was just getting past that. It was just like really just evaluating, acknowledging, and just monitoring, those particular people. And it's a hurt piece because a lot of times it's the people that you really want to be around. It's the fun people that know how to have all this fun, but when it's time to get things together and to get things going, oh nah, we're still in fun mode. You know what I mean? And I think to certain people I'm considered serious, which is funny because I think in certain groups I'm the jokester, I'm the whatever one. So it's always interesting to see that. But I get that a lot out here. Oh, you're mad, you're serious, like how to have fun, but you're serious, like, and I'm just like, it's not that I'm trying to be serious, but I mean, I got things to do. I didn't, I came back here for a reason, so that's another thing that comes with the environmental piece of it is just, your squad, your group, are they motivating you or are they holding you back? Like Chynel had said, don't let the hand you hold you down. You know what I mean? Like make sure those hands are pulling you up and trying to see you succeed, because unfortunately there are a lot of people that are comfortable with you being comfortable and not making moves, and a lot of people benefit from that, unfortunately. And it took me a long time to truly understand that, and so now it just sucks because it's like you have to. I personally feel like I have to limit my time around certain people, because once I start to feel like, okay, we're doing a little bit too much of this and we're talking a little too much about this and we ain't really moving on this,
right,
I gotta fall back a little bit. Let me recharge, re-energize, get back to my thought process, and and it's all love. No love lost at all. But it's just, you just gotta really monitor that. You gotta be real with yourself about that, and nobody's gonna be as real as you are about that right there. And I think it takes a long time. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think that you are very much a product of your environment, and it's up to you to change that environment. Essentially, if you're around a bunch of people who just have energy that's constantly pulling from yours or draining you, which 9 times out of 10, we all know somebody who's like draining to be around, and it's unfortunate because that might have been your closest friend growing up, or a nice, you like that person in other circumstances in other environments, but when they get by themselves or whatever, it tends to pull you in a different direction. And positive vibes are always the right vibes. If it's positive, if it's moving forward, you want to stick to that. If it's something negative and it's something that's just like in the way, like, for what? That's not what I came to you for right now. Like, and we all have the friends that we can call. I have a decent group of friends where I'm just like, I know if I call this person, they're going to give me a different vibe. And I know if I call this person, they're going to give me this vibe. So I'm very particular in who I call and what I call about. Because not everybody's going to give you the same type of vibe that you may need. I got one person I call and they're like, yo, let's go. Like, you ready? Like, and then I got the other person like, I think that you should. I'm usually the voice of reason. But Ronai, she's like me, like, well, I don't know. You might be overthinking that a little bit, or trying to make logic and sense of the situation. And we need that in our lives. We need that just to keep us balanced. But your environment is everything. And if you don't focus on who you surround yourself with, and that could be nobody. Don't be afraid to be alone.
Right.
Don't be afraid to pull it back and just be like, I don't want to deal with no people. And get yourself together, because then you know who to invite into your space. Once you figure out yourself and who you are, you know who to invite into your personal space so that they can share that positive vibe with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, potential is the thing that keeps running through my head as we're having this conversation, because especially for me, I'm always that type of person. If I see the potential in you, Oh boy, I'm not quitting. I'm pushing. I'm running out of breath to the point where
I be like, Renee, cut it, cut it, cut them loose. Quit.
yes, I'm doing it up. I'm turning purple. For real, for real. No, absolutely. I feel like people come at me all the time because they're like, Ronnie, like, all right, you see the potential, but and it's because, although they're not where you are, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be. You know what I mean? But I think the potential thing, it tends to get in the way. When they're ready, they're gonna be ready. And you might not be a part of that chapter in their lives. And it took me so long. I want to say literally, it could be up until yesterday. It made me, I realized like it took me a really long time to understand that and to be okay with that. Cause I'm always, oh no, but like, and me, I always think from a psychological perspective, or I try to at least, and I try to be as unbiased as possible. So I'm like, well, Dag, they're not doing this. Well, maybe it's because of this, this, and this. Well, Dag, maybe they just need, and I start digging deep. And like she said, I'm an overthinker. But for real, I know I'm not the only person out there like that, but I will say, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You really gotta get to a point.
See, if you see me and Renee out and about, and say we're sitting in like a coffee shop or something, and we're chatting it up, and you're selling something. Let's just say you're selling something. You're hustling, whatever the case may be. Renee is more likely to give you a chance than I am. Like, and I used to not even be like that. And for the most part, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna give you a chance too, but like, Renee will let you sell her so hard. And then be like, well, I don't know. Let me get back to you. She knows she just gonna cut you off. For me, it's like I keep it so far. I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, and it's the energy per se. Like I can understand if you're coming to me like, oh, you want to be this person and you want to get to this point, and I'm about to sit here and lay out, okay, this is how I think you should achieve this. And I've seen it work before. So I think there should be no problem with you making it if you follow X, Y, and Z. And you might not do it to a T, but if you're not showing that you want to get to X, then you want to get to Y, and you want to get to Z, I am done. I'm not even about to shake and bake you. I'm not, because it's a waste of my time. And it's something that we cannot get back. Like, people, time is so important to me. And I'm just like, you need to be trying to ask me for more. You want to know X, Y, and Z, and what comes after Z. You should be like that. And that's what I'm like, oh, okay, you down. Like, you're trying to get there.
Right.
That's me what comes after Z. I mean, I'm questioning, to be honest. I'm like, do you really want to do it? Like, or and then also, you set time limits on things. If my friends call me and they're like, I want to get this done and this is what I have to do, and they're stressing or whatever, if I speak to you again within that like time frame, next 2 weeks or whatever, and you're saying that it didn't happen, you didn't get that stuff done, or you're still working on that, that's a problem. And fortunately for me, I've weeded out those people. Everybody that I deal with, they're able to make things happen for themselves on their own. So they're not dependent on me or anybody else to put them in that mode, in that vibe to get things done for themselves. They're very self-sufficient. So at this point, I feel like we're just giving to each other and we're not taking.
Right. And I feel like, and that's why I'm appreciative of being around your character, because, I tend to, I definitely learn from other people's experiences too, you know what I mean? Aside from my own. And so now, again, like, it's just kind of one of those things where I won't even waste my breath. You know what I mean? I'll tell people one thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'll put it all in one sentence. Like, look, this is what I think you should do. I think you'd be amazing at it. And I'm gonna leave it right there. And that's it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I am now noticing with those people, they'll reach out to me and be like, look, this could be for this and this. And like, they're the ones who are starting to get a little motivated. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I was tripping. Maybe I was overdoing it a little bit. You know what I mean? And it's really because I just really think when I blow up, you know what I mean? Because we're blowing up, you know what I mean? One way or another. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I'm not even saying that at all. Everybody's level of success is different. But what I'm saying is my people, I want them to come with me. But I genuinely have had conversations with people recently where I was just like, look, like, you got to bring something to the table. You know what I mean? Like, people will be like, oh, yo, don't forget about me, blah, blah, blah. Like, just being funny, being stupid, and I'm like, listen, if I got it, you got it. You know what I mean? And vice versa. That's how me and my people are. But my thing is like, you can't just put people on and then that's it. You know what I mean? They have to know what they want to do for themselves, period. You know what I mean? So I find myself having that conversation like, look, and likewise, you know what I mean? Don't expect you, I don't expect you to just pull me up and then that's it. Hey, I'm living off of your success. No, no, no. I'm trying to make a little niche, you know, within that for myself. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like honestly, if it shouldn't even be a conversation of like, don't forget about me when you make it. It really
right,
should be a conversation of what can I help you do to make it?
right,
Because if you make it, then I make it. You know, then we make it. That's just how it should. I feel it should go. So I'm gonna be the one to tell you I'm gonna forget about you. Because if you feel like you can be forget it. Then I don't even know forgot.
well, bye.
Sorry. Switch that up.
Yeah,
If you feel like you can be forgot, I'm going to forget.
yeah,
Period. If you're not in it to win it with me, you're not going to be there at the end.
mm,
This elevator only holds with so many people, and I'm the type of
right,
person that like to ride the elevator alone already. So it's hard
right,
enough for me to be able to, you know, count on a team of people because I've been burned before. I've had a team where they were not even with me; they were against me at the end of the day. Usually, if you're in a certain position, people want your spot. And that's great. I mean, I'm all for that. Take my spot, please, because if you take my spot, that means I'm going higher. I'm going
right,
up. I'm not falling
yes,
off. So,
right.
you know, come for it so that can push me even to go for the next level, you know. So, I mean, that should be the thing. Like if you find yourself saying to somebody or you see somebody doing something and you're like, yo, they're about to make it, you should probably be trying to figure out how you can help them make it.
Right.
It's not nothing about you getting something out of it. Like it's all about you wanting to see somebody else do great. And when you invest in somebody like that, they're always going to turn back around and reach their hand out for you. They're
Mm.
always. It's just what it is. I mean, that's just great character, honestly. And that's how I am. Like I said, if you feel like you can be forgotten, I'm gonna forget you.
And that is a fact for you. That is absolutely a fact. And I feel, look, slowly but surely, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But I do see parts of me that have grown tremendously in that area. And I will give it to the fact, I think exploring the world a little bit and then coming back home, I think that's what did it for me. And I feel like this move was so necessary for that because now I'm just like, yeah, I'm not tolerating a lot of shit that I used to. You know what I mean? Like just because I don't have to, you know what I mean? And I don't want to, and I love you, and it doesn't make me love you any more or less just because I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the point of it. The point is, it's like, listen, you could do it. You know what I mean? Like, you got this, and I'm gonna support you 1,000%. So, absolutely, you know what I mean? And it just comes down to, you know, motivation, you know, and that's the thing. They always say, surround yourself with people who are doing the same, if not more than you.
Right.
And I always think about that. You know what I mean? That's so important. And just like Chynel said, that's why there's certain people, there's certain people I call for certain things. There's certain people that I call, you know what I mean, when I'm feeling away or when I'm going to talk business or when I just want to have fun or, you know, and, you know, it's beautiful when you could find all of that in one person. That's for sure. I
I
will
was,
say that. I
and
will.
I think that's how we are. Like
Yeah.
we can get
Yeah.
fast out of each other. We can get the business one on one out of each other, real hard body. And we can also even get the emotional out of each other
Uh-huh.
to an extent. Ronnie is way more emotional than I am, but
Mhm.
Ronnie knows why I am the way I am. She understands me, so she knows how to work around it in a conversation, and vice versa. So
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Because and that's so true. And because I think, you know, some days I'll get really excited, like, oh, I just want to talk about some like motivating stuff. I'll call somebody and they'll just be like, oh, we'll talk about it. And then they'll be like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that no more though, because like it's not gonna happen and stuff. And I'm just like, all right. All right, what you about to do? Like, you know, like, it just kills the whole vibe. And it sucks because not only do you think that little of yourself, like, I'm over here hyping you up, like, what? Yo, that'd be so cool. You should do it. All right, well, I don't want to talk about it no more because it's not happening. And da-da-da-da. I'm like, well, you gotta like speak it into existence a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
shut yourself down. And it's so sad to me. And that's why, again, like, and I'm very vocal in my thoughts. You know what I mean? So I just have to say it. I'm just like, look, like you got to get it. You know, you got to get your mind right. You know what I mean? You over here shutting yourself down before you even get started. That's not okay. You know what I mean? And it's hard to have a conversation with you when you act like that too. Like, damn, like you know what I mean? What you want to talk about? Oh, girl, oh boy, like gotta be more to life than that, people. Come on. But no, seriously. And that's, you know, and everybody's meant for certain things a lot of times, you know what I mean? And that's okay too. I think that just comes with growing up, being adults, you know what I mean? You just know who's for what,
Yes.
and it is what it is. But
Yes.
no, absolutely. You know, environment is very important. It's very much a major key in your success. And it's not even just your organized workspace, it's the people you're surrounded by, the food you eat. You know what I mean? What you're doing outside of business. You know what I mean? I've really been taking a lot of steps to be productive and just do, you know what I mean? Right before this video, took my dog for, you know, to the dog park. You know what I mean? Like little things that just make me feel good and active. And
Right.
you know, it's all of that. You know what I mean? Are you spending the whole day that you're on lockdown watching TV? I mean, shoot, we're all doing it every now and then, but you know, take at least 30 minutes, an hour of that time to write something down. You know what I
Right.
mean? Read a book a little bit. You know what I mean? Today I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to turn the TV on. That's when I decided I'm going to take my dog to the park, come back, and we're going to record, and then we'll see how the day goes. You know, might read a book, whatever. Like, I just, sometimes you got to really take a step back and acknowledge like your routine. You know what I mean? You can't be stuck. Routines are good, but once you're constantly in that same routine,
Right.
you start to become stagnant, and it's a problem. You got to be able to switch it up a little bit, even down to one thing I love telling people too is like, if you walk to work, for example, try to take a different route. When I was in Colorado and I was taking the bus to work, there will be times where I would be like, okay, I always go this way. Let me go this way. You know what I mean? Change my perspective a little bit. Like, let's see what positive things are coming out of this end. And like, it's that little thing. And I would always like tell people like, look, like take a different route. You know what I mean? Like, or you know what I mean? Like eat something different, or, you know, like just don't be scared to switch it up a little bit. And your circle includes that. Don't be afraid to, you know, step outside of your circle and make friends with people that you just didn't think you were going to fit in with. Because 9 times out of 10, y'all have more in common than you think.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I like recently found, you know,
Mhm.
just those people that you don't pay no mind to because they're so different from you.
Yep.
You feel like you have nothing in common. Those be the, you learn so much. So they be
Yeah.
the dope people. You learn so much from them because it is a different world. They do live a different world. They have a different view. Um, you know, and at the end of the day, there's some common ground somewhere. And if you guys have enough conversation, you'll find it.
Yep.
And it's pretty dope. Yeah. So I totally agree. Yeah, your environment is everything. That's like the biggest thing. Like,
Hmm.
ooh, and I wash my environment completely. Like everybody who is around me is who I want to be around, and you have say in that. You can't.
Yeah.
If I'm controlling your environment, I mean, other than your work environment, because that's different. I mean, if you don't work for yourself, then you probably can't control your work environment. But yeah, and that's 90% of your day is at
Right.
work. So you need to find a comfortable work environment. And we spoke about that the last video, vlog number 3, where it's just like, you know, if it's not a positive environment for you and you're starting to feel like it's toxic, you need
Mhm.
to go because it's going to, you know, go right into your home life, your work life is going to just drown everything out and you're just constantly be irritated, just in a mood all the time.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. And even, you know, and even just chiming in on that, your mental environment too. You know what I mean? Like exactly like that. If you're fed up with something, or, you know, again, your routine isn't working, or even your thought process, you know, I, again, when I first moved back, you know, it was a process. And I keep saying that not to say that being back here is the worst thing ever, because it's absolutely not. I'm around my family, I'm around my people. That's what I need right now. But it was an adjustment nonetheless. And so I was in a certain headspace for a little while. I was in a dark headspace, not the darkest, but I was, you know, just thinking. I'm a thinker, like we keep saying. So my thought process was like just replaying everything that had gone on the past year and where I was at and what that meant for me and what I got to do and just everything. And then one day I just clicked and I was just like, you know what? Like, I feel so good. It was like in The Wiz when it was like, can you feel a brand new day? Like, that's how it felt. Like, I'm doing the dance and everything. I'm stripping out the costume and all that. Like, that's how I felt. And like now it's like every day I'm just like, don't lose this momentum. Don't. Whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? And that's why people will hit me up like, oh, you staying in the house again today? I'm like, yep.
Yeah,
Because I'm good right here. My energy is super protective. I got my dog with me. We're just chilling, vibing, like got some
right.
drinks. And then when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. And then when I feel like that environment is draining, I'm like, all right, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm a head out. You know what I mean? So, all of that is just so, don't downplay that. If at any point you ever feel uncomfortable in your situation, and what I've been seeing a lot too is if you feel uncomfortable telling the people in your circle about your dreams and your goals or anything like that, you got to find new people. You know what I mean? Like if you're feeling uncomfortable to the point where you can't even tell them something that you did that was so great that could possibly benefit them because you just know it's going to be a negative reaction, unfortunately, you know what the next step is. You got to remove yourself from that. You know what I mean? And it's hard. I'm not about to sit here and be like, yeah, that's it. Obviously it's hard. It takes longer.
I'm definitely telling you to dead.
Right.
Like,
Right. I mean, yeah.
And that is it. Because if you only knew what's on the other side of that, if you only knew what life was without all the drama, without energy, without it's insane. You get so much done just focusing on you and your dream. And that's not to say that everybody around you is null and void. That's not it. But I mean, you're just not concerned. You're not that invested in what they got going on. Like, that's it. So yeah, I'm that person. If you you don't even get a chance to cross me because we didn't even make it there. You
look, Chynel will walk through the door and just be like, yeah, you know what?
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I was more tolerant of it when I was at home. But when I moved, I really understood like you're gonna have to get some tough skin and you're gonna have and it was so much easier. I don't know these people don't know my family. Like it was so much easier for me to just be like,
right, you're not for me. Exactly.
Yeah,
you know what? That's why I say, if you have an opportunity to live in another place outside of your hometown, like absolutely do it because that's where you gain a lot of perspective and you're not being influenced by people that know you. And it's so important. Yeah, because or exactly. And, because now coming back, recently I had an experience where I walked through, somebody's door and their one friend, there was nothing wrong. She was cool, but her vibe, I couldn't, I was just like, I could tell you got something negative going on with you. You know what I mean? And I said respectfully, we left and I was like, look, respectfully, I kind of want to limit my time around that. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, some negative stuff coming out the door. And I'm like, yeah, see that I felt it. You know what I mean? And you really start to feel that. And it's like, just kind of going back to what you said, like right from the rip, we probably had 1.5 conversations. Don't know, but it's just like when you have that feeling, you gotta, 9 times out of 10, you're right. Sometimes you play with it a little bit, but you're usually right. You know what I mean? And if you feel that, and I'm all about protecting your energy and vibes and whatever you want to call it, whatever, but that's really important. And so, it's true. If you're at a point where you're like, yeah, I gotta be done, just like Chynel said, look, be done. I'm gonna say like, maybe just let them know first and have a conversation and see if that sways their opinion and maybe they get it together. But I get it.
She want to have a whole conversation, a closure meeting. I don't think that's necessary.
Everything, but and that's not for everybody. Let me say this. I will agree with her wholeheartedly because it's not for everybody. Not everybody deserves that conversation. There are some people you literally just got to be like, yeah, I'm done. I don't owe you anything. And that's it. You know what I mean? But I get it. It's hard sometimes. It's easier said than done. And that's where that communication comes into the play. Like, look, hey, I just want to let you know I'm falling back. You know what I mean? Like, boom. And that's it. But either way.
I feel like, why prepare somebody for fall back? That just prepares them to be able to catch your ass when you fall back. Like,
well, it might also influence them to get their stuff together so that you don't have to fall back.
Right, but you do have to fall back regardless because for you to even feel like you had to fall back in the first place means that's a character issue.
Yeah. You
can't change that. That's just who they are. So I'm not going to warn you about falling back. I'm just going to fall back, fade back, way back, and stay back. Okay.
Right. It's a learning curve, people. You know what I mean? For all my empathetics and emotionally intertwined people out there, you already know how it is. But no, for real, she's absolutely right. And but I just know it takes time for some people. I will say for some people, but either way, get to it is the point of the story. No matter what, whether it takes time or not, at some point you just got to get there. So Yeah, it took me a minute. I'm there now, and it's wild because I'll just be like, wow, I really don't even deal with you anymore. Like, look at me meaning what I say.
Right. I know, right? Give yourself a round of applause for real. That's the best feeling though. Taking your own advice. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, like almost too many people who don't even take their own advice. And it's annoying. It's annoying, but I get it's like a way of life. Like you may be able to tell somebody how to do something or maneuver around or manipulate a situation, but when it comes to you, you don't know how to do it, or it just doesn't resonate. And it's so common that I feel like this is a situation, like this is a problem for like most of society. So I don't even point nobody out on it, but like, and I might be guilty of it myself. I don't even know, but I just feel like for the most part, I'm not going to tell you something that I haven't already done or that I couldn't see myself doing because it's part of my moral. It's part of my, my ability to process certain things. I have to do things a certain way, and it's part of my character. So like, and that's another thing. Like, if it's not their character, you can't expect them to do what you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just a different thing. And for me, it's really hard. Like, Ronai, I'll tell you in a heartbeat. Like, no, dead that quickly. Like, no, please don't do that again. Like, seriously. And just no, I think that maybe, or no, Ronai, I don't think that that's the case. And I think that you need to listen to what I'm saying, because if you call me again with this foolishness, and Ronai's one that won't call you. Like, she is not going to call you about the same thing too many times. She's going to figure it out, but she already knows my energy, so she knows what I'm going to say to her. She don't want to hear it. That's when she calls somebody else. And then when I'm going to call back to hear, confirm, to get that confirmation code, now I got to call back like, so did you not do? Maybe another week. You know what?
Like, that was the old me.
Special character, special character, special character, special character, special character.
Yes. No, absolutely. Like, and you know what? But it's crazy because I noticed that for certain people too. Like, I'll say something and I'll repeat it, and then I won't hear from them for a minute, and then I'll hit them up like, "So you ain't do it, did you? Like, so what happened?" Like, because I already know, and they'll be like, "Well, that's why I didn't call." And I'm just like, "Yeah, all right." Like, so it's so funny because it really is a cycle. But for real, no, because I mean, and you have to have no nonsense friends. Chanel's my no nonsense friend, for real. I have friends that are full of nonsense, and then I have Chanel where I'm just like, all right, well, I have to do it because if I can't call her and then she's just gonna be okay with it, like then I'm gonna have to hear it. No.
And now we speak every week. It was never like that. It was like that when we lived in the same city, but the way we weren't talking every week. Now we definitely have to speak every week because we do a video every week. But yeah, like quick recap. So XYZ, and we're both on like really good. I feel like Ronai's in a good place. I'm in a really good place, and we're together just in a beautiful space to be able to grow and bloom and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, but if we weren't and we had to speak every week, we would be working to get there. Either she'd be working on me, or I would be working on her to make sure that when we are sitting here face to face and we're having this conversation, that there's nothing like, tap dancing on our nerve. You know what I mean? Like, because that's super important to be able to stay focused and handle the issue at hand or handle whatever you're doing. That's right in front of you. So yeah, I mean, your environment today was all about your environment, and if you in quarantine, you should be able to figure out if your environment is yay or nay.
Now more than ever.
Yeah.
Look to your left and look to your right. Look, you gotta. What's going on? Are you organized right now? Are you sitting around nothing but chips and dip? Like, which is fine. Look, hey, do it. But
they're sitting around with chips and dip. They're sitting around with chips and dip. That is for sure.
No, but for real, this was a good topic. This is something that I think about. I think every day. This is something that is on my mind on a regular basis. Like I said, no matter who I'm around, I really take, even if it's 2 seconds, to say like, yeah, this is my person, or I gotta limit my time. And so it's nothing to do that. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a cautious person. It makes you a person that's acknowledging what you need in your life. It's okay, which was something hard for me to understand. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be about yourself. I feel like I come from a family of people that do nothing but give. So it was very hard for me to get to a point where I was like, okay, well, it's time for me to just focus on just me, just me. You know what I mean? So, but again, having people that have, you know, I'm the no nonsense person for some people in my group, but Chynel's my no nonsense person when I slip. You know what I mean? So just making sure everybody needs that person where you're just like, yo, you're bugging. You know what I mean? And another thing too is like, we're gonna be, you know, if you haven't noticed already, we're gonna be real. You know what I mean? And if you're giving us a call, you know it's for some raw conversation. Like, you know what I mean? It's for some raw conversation. It's definitely not to sit there and be like, you know, one thing as emotional and empathetic as I try to be with people when it comes to talking about anything, when it comes to communication, nah, that's when you're gonna catch me on some raw and rugged every time because that's where it matters the most to me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and I might come at your neck and then afterwards be like, but you know what? I get it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just time.
I hate when she
I
says
get it, but,
you know,
I said what I said.
so much. I don't know if she still says it. She says, but yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if her favorite, you know, words. And I hate it. Like, Renee, stop saying you don't know.
You don't
And she
know.
knows. This is the
Right.
wild part. She knows what she's talking about. And
You
but
ever
she always
see
likes to leave that end just to keep it open, just in case that ain't it.
right?
No,
You ever see that where it was like when you give somebody life advice, but then you end it with, yeah, but I don't know, just in case. Yeah, that's me to a T. I'll just be like, yeah, but you know what? I don't know. Like, because, and I think I do that just for the sake of my humbleness, like, too, because I like to remind myself, like, you know what? You don't know everything. And just because it works for you doesn't mean it works for everybody else. That's why I say that. But it's so funny because I absolutely, yeah, but I don't know, though. I'm like,
yeah,
I
don't
don't
take
know.
for it. Like, what?
Because 9 times out of 10, y'all ain't listening. Let's be clear. Y'all ain't taking my advice.
I am.
Nobody.
Nobody
You
be
are.
like,
You are.
I'm taking advice.
Because we're no nonsense together. But for the nonsensical, no, they're not taking their advice. They got to learn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then they're going to be like, oh, but I should have just listened to you. All right. You know, well, you should have. I don't know. Oh my God. On that note, it's been a great however many minutes we've been on. I really don't know. Time absolutely flies on this. I love it. I hope you guys still love it and continue to love it, continue to support it. Some of you have seen already, we did make an Instagram and dot moving forward. We do also have a Facebook page and with the and symbol moving forward. And so follow us. We'll have some fun material for you soon. You thought we were funny right now. Now we have some bloopers and stuff coming up and stuff. So it's going to be fun. We're trying to make the most of it. We want to create a community. Like we said, this is the whole point of Chynel and I starting these blogs and so, or vlogs rather. So yeah, so stay tuned, follow, like, share, you know, whatever you got to do, send feedback. I've been receiving some amazing feedback from everybody. And so keep on doing that. I love it. I love the support. I love the energy. Chynel, wrap it up.
Yeah, man. I mean, other than that, we're just gonna keep, you know, counting on these 8 areas of self-care because that's what we live by and that's what we strive to be, you know. That's gonna bring us to the best of who we are. So like our videos, like and comment and subscribe and share as much as you can with your family and friends. And we all have a friend that needs this conversation. Like, let's be clear. We all have somebody who needs to hear what it is that we're saying. And if you want to be a part of this conversation, please, by all means, contact us so that we can go ahead and get our first, I don't know, our first.
Yeah, inquiry. Like, reach out to us. We didn't get this email address set up for nothing. Like, I need somebody to hit us up. Come on.
Right.
Even if it's something like, oh, y'all are great, or, you know, something, you know, but I appreciate it. Like I said, I mean, writing us on Instagram and Facebook or whatever, that's been amazing. But absolutely, anything. If you need personal advice in anything, you know, whether it be public relations or hair or whatever, I'm always hitting Chynel up for some hair stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what about this? What about this? Like,
Yeah,
look.
and, you know, this work to solve problems at the end of the day. And I'm just super excited to see, you know, where the next few videos take us. I feel like we've gotten a good footprint in what we're doing now and where we're going. We have a clear direction. And that's the most important part. And we're just honestly, we're still filling things out. Like today, I don't have any I'm just like, it's really a conversation. Like, we don't sit here
Yeah.
and break down our whole video. We
Yeah.
really just talk, and it goes where it goes. But please continue to keep watching, continue to keep sharing, and outside of that, we will see you guys next week. Hopefully you are all good. Stay inside.
And stay safe, please.
Wash them hands, watch the coughs, keep the kids in the bedroom, dose them up. Y'all going crazy. But that's it. So again, you guys have tuned into Vlog 4 with And Moving Forward, and I am Chynel with Chapter Beauty, Chapter 28 Beauty. I'm sorry.
Ronai with Anomaly Agency, and moving forward, we will see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.